we had a little film run here. If you saw those houses, those are the Eco Classic homes. Those are the most innovative, cutting-edge homes that's out on the market today. So I'm so excited about this. And what I'm going to do, I could have got the Eco Classic people to come here and talk to you about them, but I didn't want to do that. I want to talk about this nail, this board, or whatever. I wanted to relate to how it relates to your business and what it's all about. There's one of them up there now, and I'll give you a little bit of a background on it. I'm going to try to stick to my notes because it's really easy to get on tangent on this. It's so interesting. And then Bernie and Mary told me that I need to make sure I just stick to my notes and get the information out there. So again, I'm going to give you a basic, not great detail on anything, but I want you to have the exposure of what this is and how they're built, and why they're built the way they're built, and why they're going to be the home of the future. And at the end, Bernie's going to do a little conclusion of how it's going to benefit you as an agent if you understand what it is and how you can get involved in it. Beneficial to know it because that's going to be the future of the market, but also beneficial to you on a commission program on this. This is a little different than a traditional new house. Now, I became an eco broker like 3 years ago. I took the course. Has anybody taken that eco broker course? It's about $250, $275. I wanted to learn about it. You get like 24 or 21 CE hours anyway, so it's not a bad course to take. But I wanted, I was hearing so much about this green, that green, everything's going green, that I wanted to know a little bit more about it. So I took the course, and it was informative. It was a good course, but I liked the green concepts, but I really questioned the practicality of it. How can I implement this into my business? How can a Drake agent implement the green into their business, that type of thing? Because most of the teachings kind of seem kind of futuristic, where the house kind of made good sense to do all these things green, but then it was so expensive that it wasn't practical. I heard Donald Trump say with the solar panels that you can save so much money in 20 years, but you need to change the panels out in 10. So that's the problem with a lot of the things that are green. They kind of sound great, but the reality of it is it's not practical at this time. So if anybody's ever seen that Eco Broker website, and if you look at the houses, especially the houses a couple years ago, there's one built out of milk jugs, and there's another one looks like a spaceship and that type of thing. And they're innovative, but they're not something that you're going to go out and show your prospective buyers. So just kind of had the thing in the back of my mind, looking for something that would be mainstream, not like something you see on HGTV. And then about a year and a half after that, I met these guys from New World Homes, and now the southern branch here is called Eco Classic. And there's no doubt in my mind that this is the future of home building, Eco Classic. Their mission is they design and deliver the greenest and most enduring and sustainable homes in the country. Then they test new technologies, methodologies, and products to refine their homes. They use regionally inspired designs, and they want to surpass all common green standards to build LEED certified homes. Which that's great, but it still doesn't answer what my issues were. Is it practical? Is it something that Marshall can sell to one of his prospective buyers? That type of thing. So I kind of talked to him and kind of got involved in it because I really liked their product and said, well, what makes sense? How can we get involved with them at Drake Realty where it could work? And they had their homes. I guess did anybody here go to the class we had a year ago? I know a few of you when we did the houses on Murdoch and Sewell Mill. Well, those if you saw those houses, I mean, they're very impressive, but my problem with them and our Bernie's and Mary's and our input from our agents was the floor models didn't look like the newer homes in Atlanta. They didn't flow, and the price point was so high on it. So I mean, it's great if you want to do all these things that are environmentally conscious, but I mean, if you're not going to bring it to a price point that's comparable anyway, then you're going to have a problem with it. And I mean, the guys, we were relaying that message up to New York that this is what you're going to need to have to do to sell them, because that's where the home company was. So, And I mean, you know how New Yorkers are. They have a hard time listening and understanding things sometimes. But anyway, we finally reached them and talked to them about some different things. And what happened was they had trouble selling their homes. And they had trouble selling their homes. They started getting feedback. And the feedback was the floor plans didn't flow. And they were priced too high. And they took a hit on it. So they heard what we had to say. They kind of came back to us. And we sat with them. And, as they say, through synergistic input, we got together. And we came up with some ideas where we could bring them to the marketplace, this marketplace, the Atlanta marketplace. And right now we have a product that we have at a competitive level, comparative to new residential housing. So, some of the things we changed on the floor plan, just briefly, was what a buyer's expectations of a floor plan is. Open kitchen that opens into a dining room, it opens into a living room or a den, large closets in the nice master bathroom, those type of things. So if you don't have that, then it doesn't matter what else you have. You're not really going to be in the game. Just those type of things, master and main. So once we got this price close to what new homes, we know there's nothing out there that's even close to this thing. And I guarantee you, this is how homes are going to be built in the future. So, right now, we're working on a model over at the Marietta Square. And these homes, as I'm going to get into a quick PowerPoint and go through them so you have an idea of what they are. They're modular, but not modular with the thought process of trailer. That's what everybody has to get out of their mind. They're modular homes that are built off-site in climate-controlled areas, and I'll get into that briefly in a few minutes when I do the slides. But now these things are priced competitively. That we got modern floor plans, no functional obsolescence. If you ever looked at homes at the Marietta Square, they're beautiful on the outside, and they got a closet in a master the size of a coat closet, and they might have one bath in it or two little baths, that type of thing. These are LEED certified homes. The ones that they have done over at Sewer Mill and Murdoch, for those of you that are familiar with that, those homes are LEED Platinum. But these homes that are going up at the Square are LEED Silver, which is far beyond Earthcraft or anything else that's being built out there now. There's just a lot of innovative features not found in today's homes. So let me run through these slides and just kind of go through a little bit about what these homes are about from an agent standpoint, so you could relay a little bit of this message. So I guess these are just a couple of the awards that they won. LEED Platinum certified. Okay, here's some of the awards that they had won here. We'll just keep moving along, but I mean, that's a big deal in the green environment. That's just another one they won, and another one they won. We'll just go through those. Those aren't that important to you right now. Okay, who is Eco Classic? This is what they are now. They're local now. Eco Classic is local. They're here in Georgia, and basically they're greener and healthier and more cost effective to operate and maintain. So. Okay, and sustainability, that's a big term, and you hear it all the time now, but you're gonna know this from home building. It's you're gonna hear it. It's just basically saying that the homes that continue to be appealing and practical for generations to come will be sustainable, meaning the materials will last. When you put on a siding on the house, instead of painting it in 5 or 7 years, it lasts 15 or 20. You put a metal roof on a house, a metal roof's going to get a 50-year warranty or a lifetime warranty. If you ever take a trip into the country and you see those houses dilapidated, you can see the roof is fine, the rest of the house is falling apart. You can almost move that roof and put it on another house. I mean, that's the kind of things they're putting on these homes. So not only are they low maintenance, but they last. Okay, there's different styles. There's 200 square foot. There's signature homes. You can design a home. You can do any kind of home for anybody. You can do duplexes, triplexes. You can do commercial properties and that type of thing too. So it's any size or style if you're working with your clients. Any home can be manufactured, any size. And I mean, a buyer can pull out their dream home and design it for you, how they would like it to flow inside, and you can be able to get this home for them and exactly the way that they want it. Here's why green: cost savings, inherently green, energy efficient, resource conservation, healthier homes, water conservation. Those are all great things. You know, when you think, again, like I said earlier, it's not solar panels and windmills on a house. This looks like a house. You know, no government mandated green, not green because you have to do green, but green because it makes sense to the buyer, where they see it's a viable value to them. Now you see the HERS rating. I'm not going to get into a lot of the technical things, but the HERS rating, if you notice now, if you're on the FMLS, there's a section there for the HERS rating. If you notice on the FMLS now, there's also a section for what kind of green it is also. You know, and it's just, everybody's more energy conscious now with the prices of gas and those type of things. And, you know, this is really right up everybody's alley, where their interests are. Just a life cycle analysis. The $211 a month that you save from a traditional home is a very, very conservative figure, just to keep themselves from getting into any kind of trouble. It's a much higher number than that. From all the examples that we've used, particularly here in the South, in the summertime when you're running the air conditioner and that type of stuff. Why modular? You know, I went to this is built in a plan, like I said earlier, and then people get a little bit afraid when they hear that it's not built on site, it's modular, it sounds like a trailer. It's not that, it's superior. Again, I went to the site is clean. I mean, it's safe, it's work friendly, it's climate controlled, it's just a healthy situation, a healthy environment with the building it. But the way they build these homes, these corners are perfect. They can never build them on site where you have your corners flush perfect, your windows perfect, your insulation. You know, you go to an older house, or most houses, you go to the corner of the house and you touch it and it's cold because there's no insulation. The insulation comes to each corner. These are all wrapped. These are sealed tight, tighter than anything that's out there, even anything out there. I mean, there's nothing even close, is what I'm trying to say, as far as the way that these things are built. And well, I'll give you an example. We were talking to them over there, and they were saying in Europe, when they build homes, every home is manufactured. Any nice home is manufactured, and then the only homes that are built on site are really the homes that the poorer people have. So we're kind of backwards from how they're doing it right now. But if you get when you get a chance and you get to see this and you walk through it and you get the feel, you see you're in a different kind of environment. Okay, what is Eco Classic? It's a certification for the highest green building standards. That's what they're all about. And then we'll run through the couple quotes. And then we got another quote there. I'll let you read the quotes. And then I'm just going to go through a couple of fast facts again. So, or talking points. If you're there with one of your prospective buyers, here's a few things that you can tell them that might help you, and maybe something more to create your interest in it too. But okay, the homes are manufactured in Georgia, so that's a positive right there. These are made in Georgia. The interior products manufactured in Georgia, including carpet, wood flooring, and decking, that's Georgia. Shaw makes this product for the floor that's 75% recyclable. It just feels like you're on hardwood. Mohawk makes a carpet that's made out of recyclable materials and easy to clean. So you got products from Georgia, manufactured in Georgia. And these homes have to stand 70-mile-per-hour winds. because they're brought on trailers that could possibly go to that speed, so they're built to withstand those winds. So anyway, I've seen pictures of these homes in areas of Florida where hurricanes have gone through, and all the homes are down except for these modular homes. Because they're built to withstand those type of winds. Homes in a building stage are never exposed to Mother Nature's elements such as rain, snow, that type of thing. But you know, I drove by work site the other day. It's been raining for 2 days, and it's just woods just sitting out there, rain hitting it. They pop that wood up, you put some sheetrock over it, and it's wet wood. This never happens in this type of building. Everything's done inside in a controlled environment. And then here's a big point, and I think this is where you can really pique a lot of buyers' interest. Even, you know, you might have a buyer that's looking, and you can tell them about this. They're going to at least listen to you. You might have someone that's not even interested in buying, might want to buy this house now because the traditional home is going to be obsolete. So Eco Classics literature touts 40% savings on energy bills. But we've been doing it in Atlanta to similar type homes, and the energy savings have been 80%. I mean, I'm talking about $100 and $125 electric bills in the summertime running the air conditioner. I mean, that's the difference in building a home like this. They have water recapture systems. They capture gutter water, and they have what they call a water pillow underneath the deck of the house or a piece of the house, so you can do all your landscape watering with that water that you're capturing from your gutters. So you're keeping your water bills down, and you're saving money that way. And also plant smaller, basically around those homes are smaller lawn sections, but a lot of plants that are, you know, indigenous to Georgia, and they're low water plants. So metal roofs, I was talking about the metal roofs earlier. Some have 50-year warranties and some have lifetime warranties. Think how much money it costs you to fix your roof and the aggravation you have with your roof, as opposed to telling somebody you buy the house, you never even have an issue with your roof. You're done with your roof. No 15-year, 30-year, that type of thing. No formaldehyde products, so it's a healthier way to live. Tankless water heaters. You never run out of hot water. You don't waste hot water. I mean, I just went through a house the other day, a big home, $1 million home, or these days $750. But built in 2004, two 50-gallon hot water heaters in it. So you're not wasting the space. You don't have the issue where the hot water heater can flood on you, or the problems with the hot water heater. And that's a 2004 house. So I mean, that piece of that house is going to be obsolete. It might be obsolete now, but it's certainly be obsolete in a short period of time. They have a plumbing system that's called home run plumbing. And if a problem arises, you can take a valve and you can close that valve. That valve might go to the kitchen sink. You can close that valve and use the rest of the water in the house. You don't have to shut the main shut off, and you know you're out of water at the house at that time. I mean, there's just so many features. So I just wanted to make you aware of it. We're going to be pretty involved in this thing, and so we're going to have a lot of literature in the offices, brochures, pamphlets. So just keep on top of it, and then Bernie's going to talk a little bit about you know, how it can benefit your business and how it can help you.
I have a question.
Question?
What's the price range of building one of these houses, 2,000?
It's any price range.
And
Yeah. So that's why there's 2,000 square foot, 3,000 square foot. You can go down to
Are the materials
1,000.
similar? I mean, if it's a 4,000 square foot house or a 2,000, is it
It's
still?
very. That's what we're saying. We brought the pricing down to where it's very similar to what you would pay for a new home. So you know, what do you pay for a new home? Somewhere around 150 a square, somewhere around there. And continually looking at bringing the price down. That's the most important thing. You want to keep the quality of it and all the benefits of it, but you got to bring the price in line, or you know, you can talk about it all day long. No one's going to buy it.
now what we've got as an agent, the benefit here is they're not the typical new home buyers looking for the subdivision that's out there. Well, they're not doing subdivisions because these can be put anywhere and they can be made to look like the homes around it. So what they can do is you can find land for your buyer and then sell them the house, and you're getting commission on both parts of it, because they will pay commission on the house even if they have a lot and they want to buy the house. So you're not, as an agent, you are going to have the opportunity to make money, where in a traditional new subdivision, if you're not there and you don't register your client and you're not there with them, especially these days, you're not part of that commission split if you're not there. So with this one, it's a matter of, if you're working with a client and they really can't find the home they want, but you can find some land maybe in a neighborhood they like, there's an old lot. You know, many times you go through neighborhoods and you see there's an empty lot here or an empty lot there, and you can work out a good price on that and work with them to help them do it and build a house there. There's a lot of opportunity, but the way these are constructed is you have different modulars that are put on top of each other. So generally, once it's ordered, once the buyers made their final decisions and they place the order, you're looking at 30 days in the factory to build it. Then they bring it on site. They will not transport it if weather, they check the weather. The weather has to be favorable because they're not going to allow it to go through rain or sit there. They won't set it in the rain. They are sealed when they're transported. But the benefit, as far as for the homeowner, you're sitting there and you see in one day they come in and they start putting these, they have huge cranes, they stack them, that home's sealed that day. It's complete. It's completely sealed. So even if it rains afterwards, the home is still protected. Then there's about 45 to 60 days for them to complete the exterior and the landscaping and everything. And it's basically a 90-day process, and a lot of that gets into trying to get the building permits and all that stuff finished, and it's just typical delays with construction. But in 90 days from the time they order, they have a house. And, you know, on February 15th right now is the tentative date to set the first home in Marietta. We're going to send out emails to everybody and keep you informed so that when it's set, you can come out and watch them put these homes together and see that. And then they're going to have a grand opening probably mid-March so that you can actually walk through it and see the home. And again, it's the only reason we ever got caught in it is we went to these homes on Murdoch, and I'm like, modular? I walked in and I couldn't tell it was a modular home. This wasn't my picture of what modular was. You know, everybody has the double wide and whatnot. That's what we've always had in this area. That's not the case. So I think you will be surprised, and if you have the time, and those of you who went through the class last year, we are going to continue to have some additional training now that there's kind of, the company's kind of settled and has their internal stuff settled and they're ready to move forward, and we've kind of worked with them and gotten prices and styles and stuff better in line. And I think we went to Reynoldstown last year. They had set the one in Reynoldstown. It was like a 1,300 square foot home. And I know they had asked the person, they kept in touch with him to see as far as his utilities, and he said in the height of the summer the most he ever paid was $50 a month for his utilities, and he'll produce them for anybody. So we have some data we can help support these, but really I think if you have the time, keep an eye out for the email, because it's really something to see these homes set, to actually watch a crane put them together, and at the end of the day it's a home. And then in 30, 45, 60 days you come back and you're walking through it and somebody can move in. So it's really, I truly believe in it as well, but I think as a real estate agent, especially in this market, the opportunity, if you know of a neighborhood and you're driving by and you see a lot in there and you know it's a neighborhood that people want to live in, or you think you can get a good deal on a lot, hey, take a buyer there, see what you can do, because they do have the support system that will help come evaluate the land, make sure it's buildable, make sure they can put something up, and they work with the buyer as far as design and stuff. So you're not expected to be able to sit down and do the design, but you do get a commission on the land if you sell the land, and you would get a commission on the home. Even if they already own the land, you'll get a commission on the home. So it's an opportunity. It's just something to keep in mind when you're out there. But I do think you'll start seeing more and more of these out there. You'll be surprised, because once you see them, you can't believe them. And I don't know if anybody who saw the one last year feels that same way, because what you expect and what you see are two different things. And then when you watch them put it together, that's even more incredible. So kind of keep an eye out on those emails. We'll start sending it out, and it's right off the square in Marietta where they're going to do the set of the next one. And then you'll know that date, and then about 45 days later, mid-March is what they're looking at. Towards the end of March, they're going to do a grand opening. So especially for agents to come in and look at it and whatnot. So, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask us, but we're trying, yes,
You keep mentioning lots. Now, are there basement lots? I mean, do they build?
they can do basements.
Either
They don't,
way.
the basement is built
Traditionally-
on site with a special system. It is not built in the factory, the actual basement. So
Right.
that would be something that would have to be completed on site.
What kind of, do they use cement or cylinder block? I mean, how do
They use a wall system,
Like
I
it looks
forget
like
the
a
name of it.
styrofoam, but it's a particular wall system that they use to keep it
If
sealed.
you, the video that was running previous had the basement, and it's a preformed wall, and it's, they give you 9 or 10 foot height in the basement from this, so it's, once the basement's set, they can put the house on it, but they can do basements.
The one in Marietta, is that gonna have a basement?
It is not gonna have a basement, that one is
And
not.
that's just how the land lies.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
just
do it
a
either
lot
way.
that can't hold a basement, so.
Yeah, but you're in an area like Marietta, or if you're in Decatur, where the houses are older, but they're charming houses, and you put one of these houses up, it'll match the houses in the neighborhood, but you're gonna have all the amenities of today in it. And on these homes here, they had 2 appraisers come out, and neither one of them knew that it was a modular. You know, they just, it isn't like you're selling them something that's so new and so strange to them that it's gonna look different. An appraiser couldn't tell the difference, so. It's just superior in build, that's all.
But keep an eye out for your emails, and we'll make sure, and if you think you missed it, just feel free to call the office, and everybody's gonna be aware of the schedule, so when we'll post them in the offices when the set's gonna be, because it really is something, even if you're not in, it's an amazing thing to see. It's worth the trip, even if it's cold out, which it probably will be, but, so, okay.